Just because you have low grades does not mean you cannot go to medical school and eventually become a fantastic doctor. Low grades can be very discouraging. Trust me, I've been there before and it's not nice. But it can also shape you. Instead of focusing on my grades are too low to even apply, start focusing on what pathway you can take to get to medical school, what pathway you can take to apply to medical school, and then eventually become a fantastic doctor. In this video, I want to show you every pathway available to you to get into medical school. I want to show you the entry exams, I want to show you the entry grades needed, and also how to build a competitive application so you can succeed. And I want you to stay with me because by the end of this video, I will show you how you can still become a doctor. Before we even get started, I want to tell you about something that I've experienced firsthand in medicine. Medicine is full of people that did not start perfectly. Many incredible doctors have resat their exams, took gap years, entered through foundation courses, or came through graduate entry after completely switching their degrees. Their journey did not disqualify them, it shaped them. And trust me, your journey will shape you too. Okay, let's begin. There are 4 legitimate pathways into medicine in the UK. And let's talk about them. Okay, so option 1 is medicine with a foundation year. This is typically aimed at students that they have come from a widening participant background. Typically, this course requires you to have studied A-level, biology, or chemistry. Okay, so let's talk about medicine with a foundation year in a bit more detail. This is a 6-year course. It targets students from backgrounds that makes it less likely they will be able to meet the entry requirements for the standard 5-year course. Students complete the first year of the foundation course and then they progress to the first year of the standard 5-year course. The typical offer involves grades B, but may vary from universities and based on personal circumstances. Students must have studied the A-levels needed for the standard medicine degree, but their background may mean that it's less likely that they'll be able to meet the academic requirements for direct entry. The aim of this year is to prepare students for the rigorous nature of a medical degree. It provides students with the necessary scientific knowledge that they may have missed out on before. Do not forget, for this course, you must satisfy certain widening participation criteria to be eligible to apply. For example, certain universities aim this course at certain locations in the UK. The next option is a gateway course into medicine. This is very similar to the previous course we spoke about, which was a medicine with foundation year. Let's talk about a gateway to medicine in a bit more detail. This is typically a 6-year course and is aimed at students from widening participation backgrounds. Typical offers include grade BBC. However, be careful when applying to this course. With some universities, even if you meet the widening participation criteria, if you are predicted ABB or you have greater than an A in chemistry or biology, then you are not eligible. Additionally, some courses are for international students, while other courses are aimed at UK-based students. So just be careful when applying. So what's the difference between a gateway year to medicine and a foundation year in medicine? Basically, there's not really much of a difference. The only difference is how they are named. They literally have the same purpose and the aim is widening participation students. Okay, next stage. So let's talk about graduate entry medicine in more detail. It is a 4-year course instead of 5 years. It is an intensive, fast-paced version of the standard medical degree. You complete year 1 and year 2 of a standard medical degree in 1 accelerated year, then you join the regular year 3 cohort. Graduate entry medicine is aimed at graduates. The minimum entry requirement is to have a 2-1 in your degree. Some universities look at science degrees while others look at any degree. Additionally, some universities do accept a 2-2 with postgraduate degrees. In terms of A-levels, most GEM courses do not actually look at, but some of them do require you to have a grade 4 or C or higher in English and Maths at GCSEs. Undergrad medicine as a graduate. So this would be an additional 5 years on top of however long your first initial course was. This route is for graduates who did not meet requirements for GEM or undergrad medicine. Or perhaps they preferred to sit the UCAT over the GAMSAT, or perhaps they wanted more medical schools to choose from. Additionally, with this pathway, it shows that students are happy to take an extra year in exchange for a slightly less competitive route. So the entry requirements for this pathway includes having a 2-1 or above in any subject, while some universities do accept a 2-2 with a master's. In terms of A-level requirements, most universities ignore A-level grades for graduates, but some do ask for a minimum science score. Okay, let's talk about volunteering and work experience. So long-term work experience and volunteering is way better than a one-time fancy placement, okay? Medical schools want to see that you're resilient, you have empathy, you have excellent communications. They want to know that you're reliable, you can work long term, you don't give up no matter what it seems like in the moment. If you're looking for work experience, we have examples of care homes, hot spices, working with disabled groups, mental health organizations, Red Cross, St. John's, schools, mentoring young students. Okay, so the next stage, we are going to work on strengthening your application. We are turning your weaknesses into your strengths. Let's talk about it. Your personal statement is a fantastic opportunity for you to stand out as a student. You want to show your reflection, you want to show your motivation, you want to show who you are and why your journey is different and why you will still be a fantastic doctor. However, some courses do not actually look at your personal statements, so just double check as well before you waste all your time and effort. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anyways, back to the personal statement. So you want to start off with your motivation. Despite all the academic setbacks, why do you still want to study medicine? Why? Why do you still want to study medicine? Medicine can be very challenging and you're aware of that, but you have reflected based on your work experience, based on your life experiences, and you're not just saying, I want to be a good doctor. No, you're going into a bit more detail based on your personal experience. Because think about it, if you are reading thousands and thousands of personal statements, you would want someone to stand out and you would want them to have a personal experience, not just listing different skills they know that a medical student or a doctor should have. You want to be a real person through your application. You want to stand out. You want people to know who you are and why you are the best applicant for this position. You have to demonstrate your understanding of the demands that comes with a career in medicine. For example, the constant workload, the emotional burden, the time pressure, teamwork conflicts, ethical ambiguity. You want to show maturity and show that you can handle this situation. You also want to talk about leadership and you want to talk about teamwork from your experiences, just to highlight the role of a doctor in MDT and how you would relate to that and how you will eventually get to that stage as well, because you got that work experience already. Finally, you want to end your personal statement with a forward-looking mindset. You want to show the reader that you will be a fantastic doctor and you are very optimistic about it and realistic. Don't forget. Okay, next stage is the medicine interview. Okay, so you've applied to medical school, you've got your interview, but how are you going to prepare for it? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I did. As some of you may know, I've had interview offers a few different times on all my applications. The difference with my successful applications and my successful interviews and the unsuccessful ones, it was very simple and it was extremely repetitive. But now that I'm in medical school, I've noticed that I've applied the same structure to other things. So it's building you, getting you ready for that. Okay, so this is the structure I used to get me into medical school and pass my interviews. First step was to find somebody that would be comfortable tutoring me or being my mentor when it came to medical school interviews. I needed someone to listen to me answer these questions. I needed someone that would understand the questions as well and understand the things that the examiner is looking for. So I found myself a few mentors and I basically used all of them every single day. You probably don't need to be as excessive, but I was just so worried. On top of that, after finding these different interview mentors, then the next stage was to do my research. I wanted to find out the ethical conditions that could happen. I wanted to understand the logical ways of thinking as a medical student, and I wanted to know I had the foundation knowledge needed. So I did a lot of Quizlets based on the information needed. I looked at the BBC a lot to see any updates in the news, any new situations happening in terms of healthcare. Then after that, I started my practice with my tutors or my mentors, and we basically had regular practices. Basically every single day I had a different tutor, or maybe I would even have more than one tutor in one day, and it would be the same time every day, and I would write down the feedback they give me. And I would take all the criticism they gave me because it was a lot and at the start I wasn't perfect. And if you need some help with your medicine interviews, please DM me. I have an ethical interview book that I've created and I'm planning to create some other books as well throughout my experience at medical school. So please do DM me if you need some help, if you need interview practice as well. I might start offering some, but DM me and I'll give you all the advice I can think of. Here are some things I want to share based on my own journey through medical school that might help you as well. Just mental things to keep note of. My journey has been very different and our journeys might be very different to the typical journey through and to medical school, but it does not make it less valuable than others. Perhaps it's not perfect at start, but it will eventually get better and eventually you will become that fantastic doctor you always dreamed you would be. So what's the final takeaway? Stay patient, stay practical, and never ever give up on your journey. It might be different to others around you, but it's not less valuable. And don't give up because your journey isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning. Trust me. I will see you guys in the next diary entry. Love you.